John Healey was not the only one to give a terrible interview. It seems that David Lammy also got stitched up. Questions are mounting about the divisions, of course, within the cabinet over this conflict with Iran. And indeed, it's seen that Lammy, Shabana Mahmood and others seem to have formed a little cabal against Starmer. But the Foreign Secretary has refused to confirm whether the cabinet was split over whether to support American strikes or not. And this is conflicting with other reports that said that Starmer initially wanted to back them, but the cabinet said no. So he had to spin a way of saying, well, no, we need to do it legally. And it's all very confusing. Nobody seems to be coming out with a unified voice. Everyone's got a different opinion. This isn't good for government, isn't it? It's certainly not good for Labour. But Lammy was speaking to Sky News this morning, and he said the usual line, I did not recognise reports that ministers had clashed over how to respond to a request from Donald Trump. And that's what they say, I don't recognise them. And that's their way of avoiding saying, yes, it's true, or no, it's not. It's a way of answering without actually giving an answer. But he went on and warned that leaking details from sensitive government meetings could put lives at risk. No, it can't, you collected bucket of piss. He called for an investigation into how information from the government's National Security Council had reached the media. Well, it's obvious. Somebody in government leaked it. That's what it is. Government is like a colander. Everybody leaks. Reports suggest a tense meeting took place less than 24 hours before the United States and Israel launched their strike against Iran. Now, what they're saying there is they knew in advance that this was coming, and knowing in advance failed to prepare. They do say proper preparation prevents piss-poor performance. Well, they obviously didn't prepare because we're getting piss-poor performance. If they'd known in advance, why weren't they getting the ships ready? Why weren't they flying in extra fighters? Why weren't they putting manpower in, materiel, the lot? Oh, it's all such a big surprise. And now we know that that's bullshit. Now, according to the report, several senior ministers urged Keir Starmer not to allow American forces. That includes, of course, David Miliband, you idiot. Ed Miliband, Yvette Cooper, as I mentioned, Shabana Mahmood, and Lammy. So initially, Britain declined to support the strikes directly. It was only after intense pressure came, and John Healey, he got very angry that Starmer actually allowed it. It has, of course, damaged the relationship between London and Washington. Trump now thinks that Starmer, like the rest of us really, thinks that Starmer's a bit of a, wanker. And he's publicly criticised Starmer. Trump has publicly criticised Starmer several times, hasn't he? He's not Churchill, rather famously. I like that one. But anyway, a spokesman for Downing Street has insisted that the final decision had the full support of Cabinet. And I can't believe that either. I just don't believe this. This isn't a Cabinet. This isn't a team. It's a bunch of desperate individuals, each grasping desperately to keep their noses in the trough. But, it just highlights really the difficulty that the Labour Party have when it comes to governing Britain. They're so beholden to the Muslim vote, the 8%, that they'll throw the rest of us over to just placate them. Get scared, rather than just saying, look, if you don't like it, fuck off. But supporting a key ally, supporting, America, the special relationship, the oldest ally, I think is got to be number one priority. You've got to show loyalty. And the other thing is, if you don't, then it sends a message out into the world that anyone can attack Britain knowing America isn't going to come to our aid because, fuck Britain. It's just treasonous behaviour by that wanker in number 10. He annoys me. I hate him. I loathe him. If someone told me he had arse cancer, I would find that amusing. And cancer's shit, and I hate cancer. But just knowing it was arse cancer, just for him. Any other form of cancer would be sad. But it's just ironically arse cancer for him, because that would just destroy all the fun he knew, doesn't it? Man is just one huge arse. That's what he is. He's an anal gland. That's, when I look at Starmer now, all I'm going to see is an anal gland putting out its little bit of aroma. loathe him. Anyway, there's Lammy pretending that all is well in the world of politics when it clearly isn't. I mean, how can you possibly believe anything Lammy says? Because A, he's too damn dumb, and secondly, he's known to lie a lot, and he's been caught out many times. And so there's all these people sitting there going, "Oh yes, we have a cabinet ripped apart, don't we? It's an absolute ripped apart cabinet, and we know not only do they all disagree and dislike Starmer, a lot of them dislike other cabinet colleagues sitting around the table. This is well known. In fact, it's generally regarded that the only person who is universally not loathed within around the table, strangely, is Nandy. And that's only because everyone looks at her and thinks, "Oh, poor Nandy. If ever I need anyone to go out there and apologise for my mistakes, it's her. She always stands up. She's a good one." And so Nandy's the only one that actually is universally liked. None of them can stand Reeves. Reeves is as unpopular around the cabinet table as Starmer is. Arrogant, you know. And, you know, and Lammy's loathed. Lammy, everyone knows Lammy's dumb as an ox. You've got Yvette Cooper is sort of 50-50. She is Marmite, you know. They're all Marmite. You like them or loathe them, but mainly you loathe them, don't you? They scrape on well on toast, but that's about as much as you can stomach. Can't stand Marmite. I'd probably lose. I'm sorry, I mean, I know loads of people do. My wife likes it. I can't stand the stuff. I mean, you get those little tiny jars, or as I like to call it, a lifetime supply, you know. But that's what we've got. And you've got all these people sitting around this table. They all loathe each other. They all hate each other. And they all hate Starmer, particularly. And then they all have to do this false fake smile. And they just come out like that grin, that rictus grin, as though they're halfway through a fart when it stopped being a fart, you know. And that's what we've got. Still, I'm sure that the military are going, yay, nice to have a united cabinet, knowing what they're doing. We're screwed as a country, aren't we? We're absolutely screwed. Anyway, I've been wittering. Don't like wittering. Don't like any RAF base. I shall quit it there. Thanks very much for watching. Do go across onto the other channel as well, the full channel, Silver Fox Hot Takes. Subscribe over there. Subscribe here, and I will speak to you all later. More to come. Oh, and don't forget, I'm going to Akrotiri. I'll do that report later. Bye.